Hey, this is Rich over at TVP Live with another quick tips tutorial brought to you by Adobe Photoshop Elements Tutorials Group, and let's jump right in. Today's tutorial is going to be less of a tutorial and more of an explanation because I already edited this picture. So I'm going to do is just take you through the several different layers and try to explain each one as best as I can. Anyway, this whole picture, I'm going to turn off all the special effects layers that I put on this picture and start with the blank photo right here. And basically what we wanted to do was the poster asked to put pink smoke somewhere around here. So firstly, let's go ahead and bring in some smoke. So I brought in some smoke and kind of positioned it. I'm going to bring this black layer underneath that will separate the smoke from any other layer. Therefore, you can see just the PNG that I found online. Basically, this was a piece of smoke that was kind of sideways like that, and I just turned it straight up to fit the picture better. Now, if you notice, if I zoom in really close, as I turn off the black layer, you'll see that I cut out the hands. And the reason for that, and I'm toggling the black back and forth, was so that to show the hands through the smoke, and then had it bright again, like in the palm where the smoke would naturally be forming, where you would see it. This makes it look more like they're actually holding the smoke. But guess what? If this was real smoke, the smoke would also be in front of the hands, but not as deep of color. So what I did was I copied the layer, and this is the top one up here. I copied it and then just simply brought it in, but lessened it to 30%. And you'll see that all it does is give a little bit softer smoke in front of the hands. So as I back out, I'm going to toggle back and forth. You'll see how this softness makes it look like it's in front of the hands, yet the stronger part is behind the hands. And that's what starts the whole photograph. Then I thought to myself, you know what? This baby's got to be a little more special than just the smoke. So let's give them a nice halo. And where are we going to put the halo? How about we just do a little halo around the whole photograph, right around here. And I brought this in, another PNG I found online. I'm going to bring this black layer in between. This was actually a much smaller image. It was like this big. But what I did was enlarge it to fit the whole photograph. Now let's see that layer right on top of the photograph. And there it is, nice and soft. That's at 75%. See, I can bring that layer and bring it down to nothing and bring it all the way up to 100%. But I wanted it to be really, really subtle, so I just left it at 75%. Let's turn the smoke back on. And now we got the smoke and we got this halo, the pink halo. What's missing is that the halo, I wanted it to be soft, but I wanted it to be shown a little bit more and bring them out from the whole photograph. So next, I brought in the black silhouette along the outside. And you can see what it does to the pink because this is underneath the pink layer. So it really, really makes the pink stand out. And that's just a black halo. We used the paintbrush and did like a large soft brush. Here's a 300 point. That wasn't big enough. I did like, I think it was like 1000 point, and just went along the whole edge with the black and then brought that layer down to 60%. See, I can make it all the way up to 100% and I can bring it back down to like 60%. And then next I wanted to have a little floating pink underneath them. So basically the same as I did with the smoke, I made two different layers, and one is just the main layer, but if I bring our black matte underneath it to show you exactly what that pink layer is, I cut them out of the pink layer. So I carefully came in and cut this layer out, and you can see that when I bring in the black matte, and that basically puts them in front of the pink. Once again, I wanted to have a little bit of smoke in front of them, so I made another exact duplicate, and as you can see, it's only at like 5%, and you can see it barely just puts a little bit of pink in front of them. And that's all I wanted. So let's pull out again and see our whole photograph. Oh, there's one thing missing. I wanted to have a little bit of light shining around her belly and all around her. So I created a light right there. And I left it at about 80%, and it was just basically a white paintbrush, and I did a dot right there. But her belly is behind that white dot. So what we did, because this is the original, we created a duplicate of just her belly section. And this is what it does. It covers up that dot, leaving the white portion shining around her belly and behind her. How did we create that? We just took the original photograph, doubled it, and then cut just her belly out, as you can see in this layer. I'll toggle it on and off. And that's basically how we were able to create that light behind her belly. Anyway, I know it sounds kind of complicated, but play around with lots of different layers and don't be afraid to just keep on creating. This is Rich calling it quits for this tutorial, saying over and out.